To the Point with Michael Williams.
Good morning. Amendment 3, the chance for you, the Florida voter, to legalize recreational marijuana in a vote this fall. We'll look at the ad blitz and the politics, but first, a focus on mental health. Late last year, a CNN Kaiser Family Foundation poll found 90% of Americans feel we are in a mental health crisis. My guest, Sharon L'Herrou, President and CEO of 211 Palm Beach and Treasure Coast, guest over many years on this broadcast, and we appreciate it. First, for those who may not know, 211.
211, we are the 24/7 helpline and hotline for this entire region.
And so if somebody's having a mental health crisis or any type of crisis, they can call anonymously, and you all get them resources to help.
Well, they can call anonymously. We will de-escalate.
Sure.
We are actually the trained suicide prevention counselors, and we answer 211 and now the new number 988, all to our team.
Suicide prevention, but it can be other issues as well. Well, you'll work with them to de-escalate and get them resources.
Whatever help they need.
Mental health crisis, you heard the numbers I said
Yes.
at the outside of the broadcast. Do you concur and agree with that?
I absolutely do. This is not news to us. We're answering hundreds of calls every single day.
What are you hearing?
So we hear people who are worried about the basics. We hear people who are...
Basics?
Basics meaning food, housing. They can't afford housing. The cost of housing has gone up. They're worried about their children's behavior. They may be a single parent, just stressed and completely overwhelmed. So we hear all of that, and we hear people who may say they're so stressed and have been so depressed for so long, they don't want to get up in the morning.
And when we talk about youth in this country, and the report focuses on that, although it covers all age groups, all backgrounds, youth mental health is a big, big concern there. And they say also post-pandemic life changed a lot. Let's talk about those things.
So you and I were talking about this before the broadcast, what's been going on. If you think back over the last few years, you could list all of the things that have been going on. We were having mental health crisis before the pandemic, and the pandemic really threw gas on that. So what did it do? If you look at our most basic needs, safety, security at the bottom level. So during the pandemic, people were worried about survival. Is a loved one gonna die? Am I gonna die? Next level is security, is housing and food, right? Food, shelter. People are struggling to afford those things. So since the pandemic, all of those stressors have become inflamed. They've been exacerbated.
And schools, truancy, a change in habits about going to school, that still lingers with our youth?
It does, because what happened with the pandemic is you have a segment of youth who weren't going to classes, who were isolated for their own safety, but isolated nonetheless, and that's challenging because we're social creatures.
And that doesn't end right after the pandemic, and we're seeing that now in a very real way.
Exactly, it doesn't just go away, because this was important developmental stages that they kind of missed out on.
And understood from the same report I quoted at the outset, historically, quoting, youth have had low rates of suicide and mortality, but that began changing about a decade ago.
Right. Yeah, actually for the last 30 years in this country, we've seen mostly suicide rates trending up. And again, the pandemic has made that worse, sadly.
It's a bleak picture. They talk about substance disorder. We also talk about social media impacts, the pressure on young people and older people as well. Speak to those.
It's really all ages are impacted. So you talked about schools. Social media can exacerbate the feelings of judgment or the feelings of comparing oneself to others, right? So it can have that negativity, but it also can offer some connection if it's used positively and if the time on there is limited, right? So what we want to do is make sure that we're having real connections and not just screen time connections.
Talk about a little bit more about substance use disorder. Again, the report quoting here, addiction is not a new problem. By the way, again, off of a CNN Kaiser Family Foundation poll, and this was in Trend magazine, published late last year. Addiction, not a new problem, but it's become a crisis largely because of its new lethality.
Yeah, so what's happened is over the last few years with the, there's been a lot of research around the pharmaceutical companies and the release of a lot of these opioids that were maybe overprescribed. So a lot of people had these drugs in their house readily available.
So a lot of people watching the broadcast, no doubt, I know I sit here and I know you cringe and say, I just want to go bury my head in the sand. What do we do? Let's talk solutions-based.
Yes.
How can we make a dent in this, or is that Pollyanna-ish to even
No.
say so, and how do we do it?
We can do it. Really, what I would start with is, first of all, don't forget your health. That's the most basic thing. So eat, sleep, right? People are on social media all night, they're not sleeping. But once you've done that, some other things that you can focus on, I would say, is connection, 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 connection. We're social creatures, we need each other.
What do you do about the child or grandchild you're worried about? You think you see something that's amiss, their behavior's changed. What do they do?
So the first thing you're going to do is spend more time with them. Ask them how they're doing. Let them know you're there. And for all of our children, also let them know about these services like 211, like 988, because if they don't want to talk to someone that they know, they can call anonymously, they can text.
I want to emphasize that if somebody says I have nowhere to turn, 211 can allow that parent or grandparent, and a teen could call your line, anybody can call the line.
Absolutely.
And you all will try and help them in the immediate moment and then get resources for them. And
yes, in the immediate moment we de-escalate, right? We're going to make sure they're safe. In addition to that, if you are worried about someone and you think they won't call, you can call us and we'll call them on your behalf. We'll reach out and check on them.
We do news stories all the time about people say, I thought somebody was having a problem. We see it, whether it was substance abuse that was the end result that caused a tragedy, whether gun mortality that people trace back to mental health. What's your message? Because so often we do the story that 1 minute too late, or gosh, I thought something was amiss, but I didn't call, I didn't try and get help, I didn't intervene, even if that includes sometimes having to call police, take advantage of red flag laws where it pertains to somebody who might have mental health challenges as it pertains to guns and other things. And I know you have that frustration.
Sure.
How do you break through to our audience to say, don't wait?
Well, the most important thing is exactly what you said. Don't wait, don't overlook it. Hug the people you love, tell them you love them, and when you sense something is wrong, ask them, are you doing okay? How are you doing? And if they say fine, probe a little bit deeper. You don't seem fine. You know, do you know I'm here for you?
I'm asking you a question that you could write many theses on, but I have so many people come up to me and say, it just doesn't seem like it used to be. It seems like so many more people have mental health problems, we're angrier, more hair-triggered tempers. Is it nostalgia, or have we really been a seismic shift above and beyond even the pandemic?
No, there's been some shift because it goes back to the connections, right? So people are worried about more families. Both parents are working, everybody's working multiple jobs. That makes people are worried about keeping their housing, people are feeling stressed. What do you do with stress? You withdraw, or you fight or flight. So you're withdrawing or you're getting angry and aggressive, and that makes it worse for the people around you too.
I want, again, 211, the resources you offer and the message that when you talk to audiences you think needs to be that break through the wall message, because it's so easy when you're depressed or know somebody is to hunker down.
So the message is there are people who care about you. Our team are made up of people that care about you. You can reach us free and anytime, calling or texting 211 or 988, and there are people who just want to talk to you about what's going on with you.
And some will say, well, she's talking about better communication, and that's so simple, but my problem's more deep-seated. What do you say to the people who, by dint of the problems they or a loved one are experiencing, saying, it's too simplistic? What do you say?
What I always say is every solution starts with a start, right? So you start with hello. It doesn't hurt to pick up the phone and call. If you don't think it's going to work, try anyway.
And 211 is there. And talk a little more about its reach. We talked about the fact that you oversee it, Palm Beach's Treasure Coast, 24/7, 365. Talk more about that.
So at 2 a.m. on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day, whatever's going on, our team is trained. We're accredited to do this work. The first thing we do, people want to know what happens when I call. Again, it starts with hello. We say, I'm glad you called. What's going on? How can I help you? What do you need? What do you need?
You and I have talked many times over the years. I don't want you to leave this table on to the point saying there's one more thing I really wish I brought up. What is it?
Well, again, it's that we're here, and I wish that people would call. And for the people who already know about us, or if you heard about us for the first time today, you're deputized to go out and tell all the people you know so that everyone knows help is here.
211.
211.
There to help, and for those who need it, and a great many do in society now, reach out to that resource.
Thank you.
Sharon L'Herrou, President and CEO of 211 Palm Beach and the Treasure Coast, and for many years you've been a voice of help and calm. You and your team, who I've had the pleasure of meeting many of them, important work now more than ever. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for your time. The recreational marijuana debate and a fact check over one ad blitz pushing for its legalization next.